Well, Josh, I guess the straightforward one is senior day, last regular season home game. Is this your last regular season home game?
Yes,
Yes.
it is. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, had you given much consideration of using an additional year?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
What are the emotions gonna be like?
Um, Let me see. So probably like my 20th game. It's gone by fast. I remember like David Long and Dre Askew Henry, like their senior day. It was of course the Oklahoma game my freshman year, one of the biggest games I played in. So definitely gonna be some emotions. I remember seeing those guys filled with emotions. Didn't really get it at that point, being that young, but being a lot older, you pour a lot into a program. You've been through some rough times. You've been through some good times. Memories with teammates and stuff like that. So I mean, I feel it's all gonna hit me at one point. But at the end of the day, like 20 minutes later, you gotta go out and play a game. So it can't really hit you too much.
Seen an amazing amount of things you didn't expect to see when you got recruited. I mean, you had coaching change, you had COVID, you had NIL, you had transfer portal. I mean, the whole way of being a college athlete changed during that time. What do you think about that?
It's definitely turned more into a business than you would think. Like, of course, like coming out, like people saying, "Oh, college is continuously gonna progress," but like it hit fast. Like the transfer portal is like free agency now. Like NIL, like you can make money just like you can in the pros. Coaching changes. Coaches get hired. Coaches get fired. Like, and it's like really sporadic. I've been through 5 different position coaches. I've been here 4 years, so I've been through 6 coaches because the whole thing with Vic. So that kind of shook up some coaches. But yeah, it's crazy. I mean, the one thing that's consistent is football and the game and your teammates, and you kind of got to lean more on that. I remember saying that after the coaching staff changed. But I mean, I came to West Virginia to play for my teammates. I didn't necessarily come to play for coaches. So I'm playing for the fan base. I'm playing for my teammates. So that's been the most consistent thing. So it kind of keeps you more leveled and try not to focus on everything going on outside.
Is all that stuff good for the game or bad for the game?
I feel it's good for the game. I mean, if you look at it, college football is probably the most lucrative sport in America. So now that it's getting the attention that sports like the NFL, NBA does, it's better. I mean, we bring in that type of revenue, but of course it gets skewed by the fact that we got to pay for school technically out of our scholarships and stuff like that. So I feel like it's getting the right attention.
In terms of this week's game, you may have to, or next 2 games, may have to go back and play some will linebacker because of injuries. So be a tough transition back, or because you've played it so much in the past, it's not a big deal?
Not really a tough transition. The positions aren't really that much different. I played both for the last 2 years, so I'm pretty comfortable with doing it if needed.
Tough to see X-ray go down. I mean, he's been a guy who's been by your side for a long time.
Yeah, he's gotten banged up a lot in his career. It's been tough to kind of watch, but he's definitely resilient. Like one of my better friends, somebody that I've been with all 4 years. Definitely one of the more resilient guys. Somebody I've grown close to. Somebody I went to school with, like been with outside of football, built a strong bond with. I know he'll be able to bounce back.
As a senior, how important is it to you to finish strong here as a team?
It's probably more important than anything. Like a couple of weeks ago, I had said what I said before TCU, and things went great for 2 weeks, then things didn't go as good for 2 weeks. So, I mean, I'm still in that same mindset. We have 2 very winnable games, 2 games we should win. So if we don't kind of get that done, then I really don't know what else to do. But I'm not even thinking in that mindset. Like, these are 2 must-win games that we, again, should win.
The emotions of sort of a roller coaster of a season. I mean, have you guys been able to just put it behind you? How have you handled, good performances, then a bad performances, and back and forth?
We've definitely been on the roller coaster, as you can say, but at the same time, this is probably one of the better groups I've been around as far as dealing with adversity. Like, we've been very high, we've been very low, but at the same time, we've always been able to kind of shake back and bounce back. Like, no matter really what happened, injuries, bad games, good games, it's kind of like just kind of brush it off and move to the next one.
I assume, especially considering the position you play, pain becomes a part of your life.
Yeah.
I mean, pretty constant. And how do you forget about it, or or does it really, you just have to shake it, you have to go through it?
I mean, it's a necessary evil. You kind of got to go through it. I mean, for me personally, like stuff I've dealt with in my own personal life, losing a football game or things not going your way is like super minuscule. Like at the end of the day, you get to go out and you got another chance to right your wrongs and another chance to prove people wrong or prove yourself right. So just looking for the next chance for real.
You've probably watched other seniors over the past years make this walk on senior day, though it didn't really happen last year. But did you think it ever happened to you? Did you think that was so far in the future that you didn't even think about it, or did you have thoughts of what's that going to be like for me?
Definitely always thought about it. I was lucky enough to go through school a lot faster, so I graduated last year technically. So I'm in a master's program now. So like I just knew like the time was imminent. Like I went through school, flew by fast, so I know football was gonna fly by fast. Like you gotta think about it. The season is probably as long as spring workouts. So like you do spring workouts, summer workouts, you get a month-long break. You probably play 2 or 3 seasons within the off season. So like these 12 weeks, 12, 13 weeks fly by real fast.
You have a lot of family coming in? Will there be emotions? Is there a crier in the crowd?
No, it probably won't be a crier, but definitely some emotions. Things have went great. I mean, honestly, I've enjoyed my time here in Morgantown. It's been phenomenal. My family's enjoyed their time, and that's really about it. It's just really taking in the full experience.
With knowledge, like you said, that knowing it was imminent, did you try to throughout the season kind of take time of like, soaking it in or at certain points, or no? Is it just kind of full steam ahead?
Really just full steam ahead because I'm after an ultimate goal, personally and team-wise, so I'm not really I'll probably reflect on it in probably about a month or so on really what it was and what it meant to me.
What are you getting your master's in? What are you getting your master's in?
I'm getting my MBA,
Okay.
Business Administration.
Josh, what's it been like playing behind Jordan the last couple weeks in the middle?
You said what?
What's it been like playing behind Jordan the last couple weeks in the middle?
It's been great. Jordan has been like probably the strongest player in our program the last 2 or 3 years. So just finally seeing him progress as a player and being able to use his athletic ability and strength on the field has been great. Like when I say he's literally the strongest person, like you literally see it. Like you seen it in spring, you see it in the summer. You seen it earlier in his career, but before he really got confident and comfortable, and now you see it every week. Like he had 3 TFLs, and one play was just ridiculous. Like he stepped to the left of the center, got vertical, knocked off a puller, knocked off a sniffer, and grabbed a running back and just took him down. So he's been playing at this level for I want to say the last 3 or 4 games, especially since we've been altering our fronts, putting them on the field more.
For you, the old middle linebackers, quarterback of the defense, one of those things. You guys are moving so many things around, even fronts. The personnel at linebacker is different. All the different packages. How challenging or fun is it kind of having to coordinate all that stuff, really from one snap to the next, not knowing who's going to be there, does that person know the position, and you're trying to make sure that everything is lined up right?
It's definitely more fun than anything, but at the same time, if you mess one thing up, you could possibly mess everything up. So you get the call, you get the check, you got to set the front, set the coverage. If you're moving too fast, you might set the wrong front to the wrong coverage, and now you got a hole, and now you got to all shoot. Like, I got to overplay this because I know I messed up right here. But at the same time, like when everything is working fine and you get in the groove, it's fun.
How volatile is it? How much does it change?
Changes a lot. A lot of our fronts match our coverages, so it's kind of easy to go back and forth. But at the same time, if you get a wrong read or if you check something too early or guess, that can kind of put you in a situation.
About his weight room numbers. Do you have any memories of like when he first came in or anything like that of like knowing that he could put up some serious weight in there?
I actually hosted him on this official visit, so I've been close to him for a couple years. But I'm trying to think, when did he first come in? First came in 19. He could probably bench 360 his first day here. Like he was the strongest person on the team the first day he walked in, because him and his dad did powerlifting back in Florida. So like the strength has always been there. It's always been ridiculous. He can probably power clean 400. Just as explosive as some of the skill guys. We just did the jump test the other day. He tested top 10 in the jump test yesterday. Like with skill, backers, like everything. Like he's literally a couple points behind me in explosiveness. Like, and he's 300 pounds. So that's pretty like ridiculous. Like, he could even do something like that. But just to see all that really come together and him being able to use that, have that confidence on the field is huge for him.
Just your path to leadership has been kind of the old school one. Come in, work your way up, become a starter, become a team leader. With transfers that you were talking about, how do people come in midway through their careers, graduates, whatever, but provide the leadership that might be missing because there aren't as many fourth and fifth year seniors?
Some guys come in trying to progress towards a leadership role like Tony did, but you also got guys like a Lance Dixon, like a Charles Woods that really just come in and try to like accept kind of what's going on. Not saying that they would like buck or anything, but like more so just kind of play their role, kind of like get in a position, like want to learn and know more. But like I said with Tony, like you having a very experienced guy, someone that can come in and provide starter contributions and provide a starter mentality, provide leadership. So it really just depends on what type of transfer you get.
Can the leadership be as good, as strong with the mix of those type of guys as it was in the past when you might have had 15, 16 fifth year seniors?
Yeah, I mean, leadership is really it's more of a trait. Like you can have it early, you can have it late. It doesn't really matter how old you are to be a leader. I was thrown into a leadership position as a sophomore, so it's really just about what you do, how you carry yourself, and what you project out. Like we have leaders that are freshmen. Like Garrett Green is a leader on this team, and he's been since he's got here, and he's 2 years younger than everybody that really plays for the most part. But it's just about how you carry yourself, how you assume yourself, I mean, how you assume the leadership position, how you assert yourself. So it's not really about age. It's just more so like personality and who has a leadership trait.
Who or what has your attention on Texas?
Explosive offense, explosive playmakers, two solid quarterbacks that both play, talented running backs, solid O-line, offensive coordinator that's been in Alabama, the best offense in the last couple years of college football. So even though things haven't went how they wanted to go, they have the players to do exactly what they need to do. Like they're 4-6, but they average 38 points a game. So it's like it's not really like you're playing the traditional like 4-6 regular team. Like you can't really let their record like really tell the story for them, because at any point in time they can put 50 up on anybody. Like you see the Oklahoma game, they really probably should have blew Oklahoma out, but they let them hang around. They just put up 50, 57 on Kansas. I mean, 57 is still a lot of points. Like that's definitely a scary offense that could put up numbers. They lost Bijan Robinson to an elbow, which is a huge hit for them. But at the same time, they were pretty solid at running back before he even got there. So, and those guys are still there. They recruit well, recruit probably either the best or the second best in the Big 12, one of the best in the country. So they have the players on their roster to be very explosive and very dangerous.
Jay, anything else for Josh? All right, take care.